Oh, hey, what is up, guys? It's your boy, Kingdom Soldier, and I'm back again with another non-gameplay slash commentary. Somebody please help me with my intro. I need to change the end of it. If you have a suggestion, put it in the comments. I really need your help. So what I want to talk to you guys about today is there were 5 teams that were really impacted by Rostermania. We've got Curse LV, Envy, TK, Optic, and FaZe. Those are the 5 teams that were pretty much greatly impacted by Rostermania. And we have 5 players that were greatly impacted by Rostermania. We had Jcap, Clayster, Karma, Goonjar, and Killa. And so we got 5 teams and 5 players. And what I want to do is I want to give you the player that benefited the most from Rostermania and the player that benefited the least, like the player that actually came out worse than they started before Rostermania. And I want to give you the team that came out the best after Rostermania and the team that came out the worst after Rostermania. So I want to start with the players. And of course, you guys are, feel free to get up in the comments and tell me I'm wrong and all that kind of stuff. So I want to start with the players first. And I want to start with the worst first. So, in my opinion, Clayster got the worst of Rostermania. So, number one, he found out that his team was trying to trade him by reading Optic Hex's tweets. He found out, and then an hour later, he got on a team call, and they said, well, yeah, we want to change you. We haven't been getting along. And that's how he got dropped. Like, that hurt. On top of that, Complexity, with all the work they did winning 7 out of 8, they were able to secure a contract with Complexity Live, the organization, for Mr. X and all 4 players. And there was no drop clause in the contract. So Clayster just basically, the contract is null and void. It doesn't exist. So he lost a contract that probably would have paid him a regular type of salary for the next year to represent Complexity. He lost that because his teammates couldn't get along with him. So, in my opinion, Clayster definitely came out the worst. Now, the team he's on, they may have some success, but when it comes to his personal success as a player, his career, where he was going, the trajectory that he was on, this is really it. I guarantee you, this really hit home for Clayster, and it hurt him. Now you might be surprised by who I say came out on top. I believe that out of the 5 players I mentioned earlier, that Jcap actually came out on top. And the reason I'm saying that is very simple. This dude got on Optic for 3 months, or back on Optic. He got on Optic for 3 months, and in those 3 months, he started a YouTube channel, gathered 100,000 subscribers, and walked away happy, laughing to the bank. Jcap now uploads every single day, and he puts up good videos. He put up a FIFA video today. I don't know how successful that's going to be, but he's been putting up scrims against Optic and things like that he knows people are going to watch. And he talked about the team change on his channel, and now Jcap is making the smart decision. And I guarantee you that Hex told him, when you leave here, continue to upload more than you have been uploading. Don't waste what you've received from being just from the little teeny bit of time that you had Optic in front of your name. And now he's FaZe Jcap, and I don't see FaZe winning the next event or anything like that. They're not going to win Philly or anything like that in my mind. But I believe he came out on top because of for his personal development for Jcap this at this point in his career. To gather 100,000 subscribers on YouTube is huge. He's going to be able to make regular YouTube money coming in because of his time that he spent in the Optic House. So I think Jcap came out on top and Clayster came out on bottom. And we'll see about. I think Goonjar, that dude, he got himself in a good position. Karma remains to be seen what happens with Complexity, and Killa, him and Parasite are holding hands again. All right, so as far as teams, this was really hard, and I'm actually one of the two I'm going to need your guys' help on. But as far as teams go, the team that I believe, and I know you guys are going to disagree with this, but the team that I believe came out on top is Optic Gaming. Now, the reason I'm saying that is because what they got in Ricky is exactly what they needed. Which is weird because they also picked up a coach. So, but they needed a player who had the ability in game, like Rambo, to watch what they're doing, but also see what everybody else is doing. And I've been watching them scrim. I've been watching them play in tournaments, and Ricky just has this ability to tell he's like playing and he's like, I'm in green. He's like, I'm in green. Matt, make sure you stay on C. And then Matt will say something like, Nate shot. He'll say something like, hey, we need to make sure we get A. And he's like, oh, Will's over there. Will's on, on A already. And Scump is in top control or whatever. I mean, he sees everything. And I think that what Optic needed most to be more successful, to get back into top three, they got in Ricky. That's just my belief. And he's an excellent S&D player. So I think that Optic Gaming actually came out on top. I think they came out on top in all of this. Out of all the teams, yeah, TK got Clayster, and you're probably like, why is complexity not number one? Well, if we haven't learned anything from Impact, it's that just because a player is amazing and combines with other amazing players, that doesn't mean they're going to win. And that doesn't mean they're going to win long term. And then that's the challenge, is that Clayster added to complexity what they needed. They needed a hype man, and they needed someone who actually was going to be more patient and not as aggressive as the other three guys that are always aggressive. That's what complexity lives on. They thrive on. They needed somebody who could hold spawns, somebody who could stay back, somebody who was good with an AR. Clayster, you know, I mean, when the foul was legal, nobody could touch Clayster with the foul. And so I think, in my humble opinion, that the worst trade is either going to be complexity or curse LV. And the reason I say that, and you guys can decide, I couldn't decide between those two teams. I think that the wannabe Impact roster was a bad idea. Curse LV has finished top two in a whole bunch of tournaments, but they haven't won anything like online tournaments and pro point tournaments and stuff like that. Complexity actually swept them in the finals of the last pro point series. And then as far as complexity goes, I don't think that Karma and Crim6 can play together long term. I just think their play style is too similar. And I just don't think that long term that's going to work out. They replaced Clayster with, and everybody that gets Karma tries to do this thing where they let him do what he wants. That's what worked on Impact, and so every other team, Envy, they try the same thing. Complexity said something similar, like, oh, I heard Mr. X talking about it. Let Karma just run around, do what he wants. But that's not what these days, and especially on Ghost, you got to call out, you got to communicate, and that roaming Slayer isn't necessarily needed. Everybody has to have a task and a role. So that's my opinion. You guys let me know what you think about the teams and what you think about the players. Rostermania was great for my channel. Welcome all you new subscribers. I will be putting out the Crim6 profile probably on Friday, but I'll drop something for you guys tomorrow. I still need to tell you about my Xbox, and that'll come soon. I was going to do it today, but I just didn't. This is your boy Kingdom Soldier, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.